All right, bio students, this is Mr. McFarland here. Sorry I'm not here today, but hopefully I'll be back in a couple of days here. But we're going to start off, you'll need your note packet, which you should have already gotten. In this unit, our last unit, we're focusing on ecology and also population biology. And so remember, when we talk about ecology, we're talking about interactions of organisms within their environment, both the living and non-living portions of everything. So let's take a look here. So our first word that we're looking at here is ecology, which is the interactions of organisms with their environment. Now, I'm going to put something to add on to it. It's the interaction within the environment, both biotic and abiotic. All right. So it's the interaction of living organisms in both the living and non-living parts of the ecosystem, and all are essential. And as we'll find out as we go through the actual unit, we'll see how these interactions really shape the way an ecosystem biodiversity does within a given area. Okay. So let's look at our two words that I just used, biotic and abiotic. So remember, bio, the Latin prefix for bio means living, okay? And so any kind of biotic type of interactions, anything that has cells and anything that is considered living. So going from animals, plants, funguses, bacteria, parasites. Even though parasites is something nobody really wants, they are part of our ecosystem. Now, just like with all of you, you need certain things to live. You need water, you need air, and those are going to be considered abiotic factors. A in Latin means non. So this is anything abiotic or non-living in that case. So rocks, sunlight, water, air, again, all essential for living things. Now, when we take a look at these interactions, we want to see how these interactions can affect the organism at many different levels. And if you kind of think about the way that the year has progressed, we've seen that we started at the smallest level, which is the atomic level. And those go into molecules like macromolecules. They go into cells, forming tissues and organ system. And this is kind of where we left off last time. But now we are going into even bigger. So now we're looking at the organism going into population. Remember, with population, the key thing here, and this is something to highlight or circle, a population is of the same species, okay? So whenever we talk about populations in the next few weeks, we're talking about organisms of the same species. Now, where you start to get, where we start to see differences in different organisms, that's where we have our community, in which you're looking at other biotic factors, okay? So this could be, in a given community, this could be people and trees and bugs and grass, all of those different things. It's not until we actually get into the ecosystem portion where it's a combination of both biotic and abiotic factors interacting in an area, okay? And within an ecosystem, you're going to find that both these biotic and abiotic factors really determine the extent, the type, and the amount of organisms that ecosystem can sustain. So in the previous assignment, you looked at many different types of biomes. And we're going to link to see how those biomes really kind of determine the levels of organizations, the number of organisms that are out there. All right, so if we take a look here, this is a normal diagram here, but we can actually see the many levels of organization here. So here we have the giraffe, and that is our organism. But we can also see that there's other giraffes within the given area. So this right here is going to be the population. The community is going to be all the other living organisms that are out there. The trees, the zebras, the mosses, even the bacteria. Now, the ecosystem itself, that is not only including all the living organisms, but the air, the water, the rocks, the soil, those types of things. Okay, so start kind of being able to discern and distinguish those particular types of terminology. All right, and so the collection of ecosystems, though, is that of what we call the biome. And the biome is a collection of many different types of ecosystems. And you were introduced that into the last activity on Monday. And they range quite a bit from savanna to tropical rainforest to chaparral to taiga, temperate, freshwater. There's many different kinds. Now, as we're going through, kind of think about those particular types of biomes and how they can support or not support different life functions. And remember, these biomes that we see today may not have been the biomes of the past. And so we would definitely see, especially in fossil records, what type of biome most likely existed in those areas millions, if not billions of years ago. But again, the biosphere, that's pretty much the entire Earth. It's all the ecosystems of Earth that support life. And this includes the air, water, and surface. Okay, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Great band.